Thank you so much, Technology for inviting me. And it's my privilege to address you regarding research and innovation. What are the different strategies on how we can lead a very good research agenda in Odisha? That is my objective also to focus in today's session. Right? So as in my slides, which might be visible, that my topic for today's presentation is data preparation and analysis using R. So I'd like to ask, in this particular slide, I have kept this design or slide. It's weight-based, right? So keeping this particular slide is also having some objective like why this what you have understood from this page. Is there anything we can focus with this page? There are various ways, right? If you see that lot of layers are there, below my name or my university name. So basically research or data is nothing but it is exactly the same weight which is visible to you or visible in front of us. It is not exactly the same. What is that? It is basically when we are discussing about data, data is very accurate. But when we are coming to research data, how to finalize and how to focus what exactly you need for your research or your that particular to find out your objective, what exactly data you need. To find out exact that point, or we can say that eyes of a particular parrot. To find out that eyes, you need to understand what is the basic characteristics or basic understanding behind your research or your student topic for your research. Right? So in this case, I have kept like the last layer you see, that is the base of your study, which is nothing but part of various segments or various stages of analysis or refinement, after which you are reaching to the exact point what exactly you are looking for to address the research objective of the gap of the study. So that the reason behind keeping this particular slide is today we are going to start from the first layer and we will try to refine all the layers to reach out the get point of the practice part of the first study. Nothing but your data identification and analysis of data according to your research objective. Right? Shall I get? So research data is basically one type of microscope or the scale. What is the idea of that? It is
that's more than a book.
how many of you know Latin term? Latin, which we need some kind of light when we don't have power. How many of you are aware we need some kind of candle? Lantern we used to call it earlier. So how many of you are aware about that? Like candle, everybody must have a candle. Why we need candle? Yes. To brighten the moment. Okay, very good. Anything else? Yeah. Very good. To see our path. That means candle is a part of our research, which is going to show us the path, how exactly which path we should choose after having various different opportunities or different various available sources in front of you. Right? That's the first part. Second one is the telescope. So there are various things, but at the end, after doing the 12 years of research, what I concluded, maybe it's not your conclusion, it's nothing, it's no technical models are having any boundary for calculation or analysis. Right now, I started my career with econometrics, but right now I am very good in AI and NLP application and finance. Why? Because the society needs that. Recently, whoever you ask, they will tell you only AI aspect, AI templates, AI methodologies, all the model techniques based on AI. Right? Why? Because of accuracy, which we need accuracy. We are not doing anything. We are just putting our validated database in a software where we are getting exact answer what we need. How about justifying that database? The database can be justified a company's point of view, or else I have to think from a regulatory body authority side. Why? Because I have to contribute some uniqueness to my research data so that it will be helpful for others or the readers or the people those who are referring that particular category. So research data is having a real-time application or decision-making process which we all are running on. We are desperate to publish paper, we are desperate to write a paper, everything is because of the real-time data analysis or application. So here I have written some example like one marketing department if they want to know the particulars of marketing campaign. Why they need to know marketing campaign? Because they are trying to identify if I am spending this much of amount in an advertisement, what is my outcome? Correct? And if you are a researcher in a particular area, let us take an example. If any MBA management researchers are there, they are researching in a particular topic. Their objective is not only to collect data, run some model and get some output. That must have some kind of application in the society which is going to be identified by the company. What is the impact in increasing the level of product awareness? Advertising is a part of awareness. Similarly, if I am doing business in the insurance company, I have to see like if I am collecting lot of data, how much awareness I am creating among the locality or among the sample holder from whom I am collecting the data. So if I am informing them the information, there my research is justified. Please try to understand this one we are lacking and which the article or A paper is looking from us. They are looking like what exactly you are contributing in the society and culturally or environmentally. All these aspects are nowadays in the market which is supposed to be the important for us. So these are few cases I have get like the production department when they are producing, how they are impacting the total factories, like how they are comparing. So previously we used to calculate this information and in finance or in your mathematics we are comparing like yes the sales of this company is higher, that means the company performance is very good. Correct? But it is not always the same. If a company is earning more profit, always their performance is good. Rather, there are various different parameters like the employee-employee relation, the salary, the environment, the stakeholder interaction, the pay package, the remuneration they are giving to the employees. There are other various factors nowadays is capturing the mind of the employees in an organization. So if you are really trying to differentiate your paper, research paper, then these data, these are nothing but not only concept. This data is very important for you to have a real output in the market. So likewise we have another 2-3 data only to identify how the data is really impacting the society or company or a particular environment or changing the environment depending on the usefulness or application of that particular data. What are the research philosophy or methodological conferences? These are various types of research. I just gave you for your information. This data is nothing but here. If you see the I will be coming to directly the orange part here. This one, research question. My work start with this research question. How you are framing the research question? How we can frame the research question? Yesterday was the session. How we can frame the research question? It depends on your data. It depends on the objective. Depends on our objective. Okay, fine. How will we fix our objective? From the gap, literature gap. So the literature gap which we have completed, from there we are starting the research methodology part. Because that is the point where my work is starting towards exactly towards my direction, where what is my only always depends on like how you are writing. It depends how you are thinking. Because your analytical skill is going to give a shape to your research paper. So if you are thinking critically different exam, because no one is going to ask you like what is the answer. Because 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, everybody knows. But petrol price hike, nobody knows what is the main reason, right? I can get any variable and any important aspect, whereas the other person can get geopolitical risk is the major factor, not like India and US and Israel war. There are many things. It's not only a single factor which is impacted. So there we are trying to find out what are the different types of selected methods that finding the knowledge. Here I have written last one, finding a clause. This clause is nothing but these clues which you are collecting either from newspaper reading or from news by seeing the newspaper or any kind of like research paper you are going across, or nowadays if Google you are opening, or lot of information is coming textile and interdisciplinary. But how you are utilizing that is totally up to you. Then your methodological tool is going to happen. And please remember, as you have heard already, part more like I'm a finance person, it is restricted to finance. So far I have aware every researcher, whether he is an agricultural researcher or whether he is a computer science or electronics, I have seen their paper, everything based on some content. They are also working on stock market, I am also working on stock market. They are seeing the emotional intelligence, I am checking the behavioral aspect. Okay? So the base is always the same. The interpretation or analysis is always different. So that's why this last corner part is very important for you to choose the findings of knowledge which you are claiming that must be a justified one. How you are going to justify? The justification may be based on some quantity or statistics or maybe qualitative. So if qualitative, I have to build a theory, I have to build a concept, I have to create a new content which is having or which is formed from my research data. Right? And if it is quantitative, I have to justify like my dependent variable is having this much of percentage impact on my independent variable, or independent variables are having impact on my dependent variable. Correct? So if you are able to identify these two things, it will be easy for us to identify. Then here when I have kept here for your understanding like positive the positive then interpretation, then critical analysis, then all these are very important. Why? Because if you are not thinking in a particular direction, you are diverted. Then what will happen? Your research idea will also divert along with your diversification of your mindset. So if you are choosing a particular aspect, go ahead with that, search for the different opportunities, then reach to a outcome or the final point which you are looking. If there is no uniqueness, you have to find out how it will be. You can create a uniqueness in that you can do either through your concept or through your variables, or third one is your methodological. Let us take an example. Many people have done some analysis by using some pattern analysis or econometrics tool, whereas I am going to use some AI tool. Exposed is very good for relation establishment, so I will go for ML approach, exposed approach I will apply. Correct? So what will happen? I am writing my research is unique on this particular applying this exposed techniques. Why? Because it is justifying the layers already been refined and I got this answer. Correct? So when we are discussing all this output, input, it only based on your understanding Both the things are almost same, only the content is different. Quantitative I need numbers, whereas qualitative I need the amount. Correct? Whereas when I am discussing about the concept, it takes on the standard type. The number and measurement is the quantitative base, whereas in case of qualitative, it based on your images, graphical representation, or your manufacturing, or your policies, whatever you have taken from your policy document or reports. So if you are collecting all this information to segregate your data, it will be awesome. Because see, nowadays, if you see, because of this AI, many researchers, they are not writing literature. They are directly putting their data, but they are asking AI to develop some model. Okay, fine, it is giving you within 5 minutes. But really, it is solving your issues? Is it giving you that? So that is the question why we need to understand the data. So if you have understand the data, then only you can develop many ways out of that single way from that data. I'm telling you, try once, definitely it will lead you to a very good paper when you are writing by giving your that 8 days you spend was spend that 8 days on that particular content or particular direction. Then next one is how this question. Example is like questions like what percentage of customer return within that particular month, or I am going to check like what is the exact number, how many numbers. Let us take an example. A company gave a training program. If it is a quantity, then I will say how many number of employees attended that particular training program. That is my quantification. Qualitative, what is my qualitative? How many employees among them learned the skill which we provided during the training program. So quality and quantity. And how you are going to measure your qualitative data? On the basis of some scale, different scale. 1 to 5, 1 to 9, you are using nowadays it is 1 to 9 is more preferable. So you are using that one. Quantity is not having any measurement, but statistical help or any physical help like your econometrics or economics or statistics. These are the two rules. Even if you are not an economics student, you have to understand what is hard, what is easier, all these things we have to, and all what is grade square, what is angle, what is statistics, we have to understand. What is R, what is R square, all these things we have to understand. Okay? Then in case of quantitative database, sample size is the criteria, whereas in case of qualitative, it is usually same, but it is like numbers, sizes. So these are few differences in case of your qualitative and quantitative techniques of research data preparation. So, in my starting of my opinion, I told you, even if lot of qualitative, quantitative research database or researchers are available, but nowadays the qualitative researchers are also facing a problem. What is the problem? Anybody from social science? Sociology, political, is your friend? Maybe. Are you giving primary data, primary work? Data is from either question or from this. So are you facing any trouble by collecting the information? That is the borderline, because when we are collecting any qualitative data, which is person to person, or we are taking through mail, we are collecting responses, or we are collecting through telephone. So all these methods are not great. But how to genuine this data? Or whether your respondents are giving you clarity. When I am talking to my friend, she is not revealing her entire secret in front of me because she is thinking like I will be civilized, right? So when I am asking a person, and my respondent, what is your income? Do you believe Any idea? What is control variable? That is a concept. If I'm going to, it is applicable to all the scripts I hope. If I'm going to check the virus retention for a particular viral behavior, so I have to check. There are a lot of factors when viral can fluctuate its quantity of purchasing. Correct? towards my final output. Right? So find the relative standing of the values in the data set. If any data is having some missing values, data is not properly collected, like I was taking the example of that telephonic and mail collected database, many people always try to skip some word which they don't want. That whatever they skipped out, I can't entirely delete from my database, right? If I'm deleting, my restaurant number is also decreasing. I have to adjust. What is that? In case of your statistics, there are number of methods are available in the correlation method, basically useful for this kind of missing value adjustment that we can take into consideration when we are doing this after identifying the descriptive statistics. Okay? So descriptive statistics is basically the information based on your mean, median, mode, central tendencies, standard deviation, variance. I hope everybody knows that what is the standard deviation and variance and mean is required for any kind of data analysis. Mean is the average, right? Median is the medium, but it is not complete. It doesn't comes under your quantity. And whereas what is standard deviation? The deviated value from your mean. What is variance? Again, variance is deviated value. That means whether all my data is following same trend or different trend. I should not ask statistics for. So when we are coming to standard deviation and variance, the information only we are receiving, like what is my conditions of my data, whether they are falling within my linear line or they are having some gap. If they are having gap, what is that gap? That particular triangular say from a linear line is we can take the medication afterwards, after summation of the data. Right? There are again a lot of statistical model to care of this. So descriptive statistics, the right side part I have there, it is the elaboration of your summary, your data for normalization of data. Your raw data if I am putting for a summary, from summary I am getting this kind of information, then I have to make it a convert it into logarithmic form, or I have to make it a cost difference form to combine or to avoid any kind of this diversification from the linear line. So if you want to make your data all aligned with your linear line, then this cost difference or logarithmic form is very much helpful for you. Or that one we can say that a final database for further research work. So these are the whatever I told just now for descriptive statistics, the entire differences, the entire part is mentioned here. For your reference, you can use like what is mean, why the mean is important. Here only one thing I have written, you will see the mean is like base used when data is symmetric. Right? And it is not having any outlier. Whereas in case of median, it is having outlier because that is this median value. So it is having outlier and it is not symmetric in nature. Right? And in case of like how these two we are comparing with the mode is actually the common and popular value in case of research. Those who are not meant for very higher modeling, they can also justify their quantification with minimal statistics, that is mean, median, mode and standard deviation. If I want to show like how much deviated the marketing sales data from the actual data, that deviation I can show through standard deviation or variance analysis too. Right? So this data is nothing but this is basically known as measures of central tendency in our statistics from plus 2 we have already done. The same thing, only the last part of this slide here I have written, that is only useful for your research or how you are going to identify, segregate or interpret the information from this descriptive statistics. It will help you if you are reading the last part of every do the kind of statement you can test that database. Okay. I'm skipping this one because this is major of this person is like for the one implementation, it is not required for actual follow this test. These are all the database testing you have already done yesterday. That I'm also directly taking you to the B values. What is B value in a statistical interpretation? Basically, this B value is nothing but the value which we need to or which help decide whether your data or the hypothesis which you have developed it is you are accepting or rejecting. That part we can do through this B value. B value must be less than 0.05. As per the importance. But if you see some qualitative research and qualitative data analysis, they always keep the data less than 1. Like control alpha, or if you are going for any HSS modeling, they are dragging you up to 8.8, 0.08. Why? Because the accuracy is little bit stated or little bit width is very little bit bigger than the quantitative research, the quantitative model. Unless P value is always accepted, well accepted, significant, we always say significant, within 0.05. So P value will tell you like how you get data and whether your SGO is true or false. And similarly, the P value is stronger the evidence which is again H0 but it is not a good proof. To make it well proof or justified, we will focus and we will proceed further for the rest analysis like whether the data is following data is having any kind of what kind of significance level in the label or in first difference or second difference. If it is first difference, second difference, we have different model for that. If it is 0 or the base label, then we have different model for that. Right? Correlation, I have already told you, correlation is your dependent variable when you are establishing a relation from each independent variable to the dependent variable, that is your correlation. What is causation? Causation is one activity, one outcome. statistical analysis, one sample or more sample. If two or more sample, then independent dependent. If only one sample, then it is only changing like how far that particular model is suitable or not. Coming to the multivariate analysis, which is the base topic like for further discussion. Multivariate analysis is a statistical technique which is simultaneously analyze multiple variables in order to understand how it is impacting each other. Getting my point? That means today I have fever. For that fever, only not like only I am having temperature. I have also many other body pain and I have teaching. Lot of other diseases are also there with me. So solution is not only paracetamol, rather I have to check for other diseases at a time so that the disease I can cure quickly and as I am thinking or I am expecting from the medicine. So that medicine is nothing but your multivariate techniques. Which particular technique you should apply or you should consider to get the medication quick and fast. Correct? So in this case, it will not only help you to establish the relation among dependent and independent, rather it will try to identify the pattern. What is pattern? Just now I told you in my first slide, there are some waves. Correct? Last part is my depth. So the pattern, if you have seen any stock market dashboard, the pattern always changes. But what is my criteria? What is my understanding? Catch the pattern where I have a gap to do some analysis. Right? Why the market collapse after 12 to 10? After 12, 10 to 12, 15, what happened in the society because of this? My market is going sharp down. That is my objective as a researcher. Researchers should not do like from 9 o'clock it started, it was going and 3 o'clock it stopped somewhere. My objective is that 12 to 12 10, what exactly happened in the market, in the country, or within the public, within the investors, what is the reason? It can be anything, right? It can be Modi visited some country, they didn't respect our prime minister. It can be like some if how many of you know like during that Ambani's younger son marriage, Microsoft stock decreased. How many of you are aware about this information? Why it fell out? Why it is decreased? Or why it impacted? Because Microsoft surely he visited that particular marriage festival. You know this one. This is very interesting. You just change this particular information. It is very much useful for software people also, for British student also, engineering researcher as well as humanities or master bilingual. A person is visiting from US to India to attend a very rich person's marriage. All of a sudden his stock price fell. Why? Is it because of another money marriage? Yes. So this is known as basically event study. That 10 minutes matter at the fall of the entire market. Only just the information. So all these are nothing but part of multivariate analysis where we are not only analyzing each and every farm of Adani or Ambani, rather we are checking the sentiment behind this fall. Getting my point? So like how which particular technique is useful for which kind of analysis. Like if you see, we will start from this correlation or multidimensional scaling, which is helping us for visualization. Now everybody wants in paper some colorful pictures should be there. If picture is there, then we will also shortlist that paper is exactly of this, right? It is nothing but it is called visualization. What pattern you are using? Same object gives very nice picture. One circle blue color, one yellow color box. So the diagram looks very attractive. So all these things we can download or we can get it from this multivariate analysis. We will discuss this one after this second session. Then I will start from here, then I will ask the group teacher. Both of you are to
Download app. You have an app that
main weapon or main techniques in case of multivariate analysis. What is The first step when you are interacting with them, whatever reaction you are getting or whatever responses you are getting, that is going to be stayed for the entire duration, the entire time period, or it is changing with the time to that the evaluation or observation is basically known as focus group. Right? So in that case, this multidimensional scaling and cluster analysis are important or these are the techniques You can relate to any techniques, but that techniques is it justify your analysis? That is the bigger question. Now I am going to check the volatility of stock market. Let us take an example. One computer science student will tell me, madam, why I will go for economic study? I am going with some factor loading by using that exposed and flattening model. A lot of things are there, right? But I will tell you, I am going to see the depth of the volatility. I need a DSC model rather than this exposed, which is only giving me factor of 1 or 0. So when you are choosing a factor, be sure, like you have seen your data, you have understood your data, then you are going for the factor analysis or you are going for a principal component analysis. Variables that have high correlation between them and are largely independent of each other, subset of variables combined into factors, they are functional factor analysis. That means further research area being told. Now I have categorized under another few aspects. Sustainability, that means how far this universities are following the sustainability parameter which was given by our HAC goal. How far they are meeting that particular point and then setting it. Whether it is HAC 30, HAC 9 or it is HAC 5, HAC 3, skill I am developing or I am developing expertise in technical areas. So all this is taken. Coming there. In your area, all these things are coming. So he can do a comparative study of India in his own country. How much India is taking? Accepted? How much is country has accepted? And so these are nothing but the broader area factors you are getting for the research. Right? So next one is a common usage of PCA or this factor analysis is developing objective instruments of measuring construct which is not directly observable in real life. Just now I gave a name, please get back to him. He told me financial sustainability. Even if I know finance, you know sustainability, but we don't know which sustainability goal it is defining or he is pinpointing. If I am to take sustainability 90, SDG goal 90, it is justified? It is not justified. Because sustainability 90 says something different. It says digitalization. But it is only. Again, I just told broader area, but I know he has already done the literature. SDG 9 is skill based. If he is touching the skill based, it will be an appropriate construct or loading for you. Am I correct? So be sure when you are choosing a technical, when you are just now I was telling you, sir, like he asked, like, madam, Anova is square example. We can apply anything, but whether it is fitting my area, that's the question. It is justify my database, that's my question. And I have already told you, I told you answer session I am going to take. I am telling you, I will share all the codings with you. You can just after enter, you get all the lecture. All lecture will be in front of your screen. Interpretation is mandatory. Interpretation is only the thing through which you are getting his research cases from his research cases. Okay? So these things you can identify during the initial level, that is the choosing of factors, choosing of your construct, choosing of your latent variables. Understood? So this particular journey always takes 2 years in your cases, 6 months only draft in the cases. Why? Because this is the main thing when you are understanding your data, you are understanding your variable, you are segregating them according to your research topic, then you are running the model. Okay? Then what is factor and what is component? What is component? Again, see, previous slide I told you factor, latent, construct. Here what is factor, what is component? Lot of things are coming to existence once you have done your literature. Then all this, like Why? Because when I'm calculating for one particular variable or two variable or two data set, my class length is 100, they secure this mark, it is easy for me to do the standard deviation. So Mr. Ramesh, so Mr. X minus X square, all these things I'm calculating, then I will. But when I have a big data set, big database, 200, 2000, X analytics, 2 lakhs. But how I will do? I need a software. I need to know whether it is only having one-to-one relation or multiple relation. Like one car killed another car. Only they got some injuries, or back and front also they got the vehicle also damaged. Multiple effect, right? The multiple effect I can analyze through this software. Please try to understand. I am not telling you to tell the beauty of the spaces are hard, because anybody, even if we are giving a reader, in master class, they will run that code. Only thing is we have to understand what is the meaning, what is the interpretation of this data, right? The next one is EFA and CFA. These are again another two concepts in case of your multivariate analysis. EFA is very much interested. We are interested because we are just exploring the underlying dimensions which can cause a correlation among all the observed variables. Please remember, observed variable, non-observed variable, again two are different. Observed variable, they are under the researcher of your observations. Time to time you are observing. Let me just stick to this research area so that it will be easy for you also to understand. Like financial sustainability is checking. How he will check? Few universities he has taken. Right? So time to time, he is supposed to visit that university, ask the same question to them, and note down their reaction, note down their answer. And after coming home, he will match how far their information is matching to the previous one. Am I correct? This process is known as basically observed category or observations. And it is really, it gives some output when you are interpreting your data. Whereas the CFA, the researchers are basically interested to test whether the correlation among the variables or observed variables are consistent with the hypothesis which we have initially developed by tracing the data. Got the point? So how these two are different? EFA is fully new, which you are trying to address your similar behavior with the similar respondent category. CFA is trying to match the consistency, standardization. Okay? So this is the basic difference between the CFA and EFA. EFA deals with theory predict, whereas CFA deals with your theory testing. This last slide you can remember, that will help you. First part category, building the theory. He will suggest like these universities have their own paper policy document where sustainability goal is there. Application is not there. Who will justify? CFA will justify. EFA will do which one? Policy document which you have already tested from the management, where it is written FDP 30 is we are considering. Correct? So the difference between SDG 30 and the CFA test result is the output for it. Got the point? Extraction, it is just like process. The square see whatever pattern I have kept in right side, you have to find out the answer. This pattern is nothing but extraction. And the extraction is the process which will help you to obtain the underlying asset class. Anybody is investigating the stock market from here? Any idea regarding market? There is a particular category of market there which is known as basically derivative market. That market is very interesting. Profit is very heavy. Why you know underlying assets are there? rice leaves, how many days we can safeguard them? How to dictate the artificial we can do an approach or AI approach for that to eradicate that disease. All these are nothing but we can also find out another way we can management student and management researcher. What I will do, I will just start the concept. I will try to see how many days it will take to overcome this kind of disease period. Okay, this is the uniqueness of my study. So eigenvalue is the factor or it is the major amount of total variance in the data explained by a factor. So basically, I will say this eigenvalue, this third point, an eigenvalue of less than 1 essentially means that the factor explains less variance than a single variable. You know, maybe from this concept you can't relate. But if my eigenvalue is less than 1, I can say the exact, like let us take an example again, I am coming back to the same some point, my eigenvalue is 0.37. What it indicates 37% of chances are there my stock price will be covered within that time frame. This percentage of recovery is possible in the market. I should not be hopeless. That is a justification to my research. I should not be hopeless because 37%. If you are a very strict investor, beyond below 50%, let's take out my money. And chances are also with you, which you are getting from the added value replication or the value. Right? Scale relativity, those who are doing primary data or this mixed data approach, they always choose some interview method or questionnaire data collection method. In that case, they use a scale that is basically known as a Likert scale, and it is 1 to 5. They used to keep like good weather. They can number. They can just justify convert their entire database or the feature they have collected from the market into some coding numbers 1 to 5, and that they will run for the actual output. Regression coefficient always takes call between the independent variable and dependent variable. So regression coefficient, the beta factor. If you remember the regression equation, there always a beta is there, and that beta is not the market beta. That beta is your risk factor which you are having in your equation or your research. Please remember, whenever we are going to start a research work, never ever forget whatever which stream you are, that doesn't make any sense. But you should not forget two equations: regression equation and correlation equation. Always it will be there. One independent, left hand side, right hand side is an higher number of factors. Then last, just one equation and higher value. Okay, so that is going to help you to explain your data more accurately with respect to your research question. So R value is the correlation between the observed value and the predicted value. Just now I will tell you an example of Adani crisis which happened in 2024. Right? Entire Adani industries was collapsed because of some information, news leak. One information was created because of which entire Adani group fell the downside. So after 3 months, I find my exact prediction matches with their live performance in the stock market. So that is nothing but my R, which I received. Right? So in this way, you can make yourself feel happy like this. I did a great thing before 3 months. I predicted and I got the same value. This is just a small token of recognition for yourself or your research work. Design issues nowadays all softwares are giving. This is the rule of thumb. You must have a sample size of at least more than 50 plus 8. I just told you before regression. These are some regression types. Logistic regression. It will help you to predict the discrete outcomes. Discrete outcome is which is not continuous in nature. Right? Discrete is the pattern is not equal. The pattern is having different patterns. So in that case, logistic regression is very much useful rather than your multivariate analysis. Okay, so let us do some mathematical system because we are running out of time. Those who are having laptops, they can open their laptop. Are already people are having R, right? So I am just showing. You can just take it and share in the code that I will give you for further. You can try it. So how to download the R is okay. Why I am using R also? I am not like I'm not doing an advertisement for R. I am just making the struggle for the researchers easy. The R is a software which is very user friendly first thing. Second thing, it is freely available. No need to pay. But for smart, this PLS and same calculation or multivariate approach. Basically, smart PLS is the best application, best tool software as per I know it. So that cost you 3 lakhs rupees. Every researcher can purchase. No institute also subscribe. Hardly those who are giving institute with money they will purchase. But I can guarantee you, if you have already used 3-4 softwares, R is also a beyond your standard level. That is also a good software which you can utilize for your any kind of analysis, quantitative as well as qualitative. Both it is supported by you. Even SPSS is also paid version, MATLAB is also paid version, EView is also paid version. Student version only available like for some duration it is free to you. EView's outcome is not reliable. Let me make it, I shouldn't get any counter question, but I started my career with EViews. Later on when I was, I tried this R or SPSS, then another one is your startup. So I find the nature is very different. It is quite like more than 10% difference is value you are getting. So then I started referring to R, which is quite easily accessible. So if you are writing here R practice, so it will be R. It will automatically is going to give you the R software. Okay. So first you have to download the R, install R, then install R Studio. I will share the link also with you. You can download the R package, R Studio. And it is giving you 4 different environments to work. One is for the working, another one is for the console. Whatever you are writing in the ground, it is you can copy and you can save for your further studies. Then the right side, there is another two parts are available for your research. Last part, the ground one. Okay, it's not showing. I'm sorry. Not it is showing. I have already told, but I forgot to change my system. Okay, this is your app studio. It is easily available. So it is updated every time. You can also update your system. Once you are downloading this particular software or saving that one, it will be there in your system. Just update it. Or any command or any application installation is coming new. You can also install that one. You can save there so that it will be helpful for you later to use. It was previously when I was doing my work, it was not helpful for DSCC model. A parameter analysis was very difficult for R, but now it is supporting your mixed approach and then as well as your qualitative approach. You can take the time of this. Okay. Let me take you to the R. Once you have installed, it is automatically will be in your system. In the upper part, you can save your command or your this coding for your further need. If your database is changing, what I have to do? Only I have to change my path. What is my path? Let us take an example. I have set a data whose name is I have given you a data whose name is research quality PLS same data set 2200. Let's be fine. This particular software supports both the file Excel as well as CSV file, comma separated file, right? Anything you out of these two files you can directly import and you can run your model. And this here the region whatever command you are giving, I hope my cursor is visible there, right? My cursor is visible and down and whatever command I am giving here, it is the region is reflecting here in this right hand side up, correct? And the down part here, you can change anything by files, whatever are supported document or are supported file I am having in my system, all the file I can access in here. Apart from that, it will also, this R package here, you can also see if I am getting some graphs. I have designed some histogram or I have designed some kind of smart payment, any correlation like that. That is going to reflect here. Once I am starting to do, automatically it will reflect here. Right? And apart from that, what are the new packages? Please see. This is very important if you are searching for a package. Let us take an example. I am searching say. How to do? What I will do? I will go here. Please say tools. Tools is the package where I am going to search digital packages. Right? And here if I am writing, because being a researcher after reading lot of literature, at least I get the clarity what to do, which particular model. So I will write here say. Just see say. How many things are written in my box? Visible? So you just click that one. Let us take an example. Dashboard. Semantic dashboard idea. Correct? So install it. It automatically. Understand? It will be installed in your app. Whenever you are using, until you have not upgraded that particular version, it will be helpful. So let me start this how to do this analysis step by step. First of all, you have to import your database. Either you can put, how many of you are aware that R uses R? So if I import database is quite understood, like you will know like how to import. Here either you can open file or directly I can go to here file and directly I can take my data from here. If this data is available here, I can take the data KIT, then from KIT I can look for my database. Research quality smart PLS import database. It is getting import database. I just click on the data. See, in my screen the data is visible. Am I correct? What I did? I just opened that file in the right side down. There file option was there, and I have remembered I am coming for KIT. I have saved my file in KIT folder. Click on that, open the file. Then open, import. What is the change? I am going to see my database here. So now the next question is, how many observation, how many database I have without putting any command. If I want to understand how many columns are there, it is quite visible here. Total column including your serial number 2. Out of that, how many variables I have? Automatically, I have to give a comma which is separating my data from the unused columns to used columns. Maybe 33, 35, 38, whatever I have. Okay? So, this is my database. If you wish to keep it here, you can keep. If you don't want, also you can take it. So, it is coming here. What is my database? I have taken a data where the monthly income, education, their financial stability, financial well-being, all the information are available quite clearly in the database. Here, now we will start our calculation. How to do? Here I have kept a database. Here I have kept a database. What I have to see is first and foremost important aspect is to read the database. Until and unless my software has not read or software has not accepted the database, I can't start my analysis. Okay, I have just done import. Import, that's why my entire database is showing here. Correct? So now what I can do, I will be just taking the read. This one I will copy and I will, you can write it also, is like it will be importing database. I have already done. Correct? So here you will see here new business quality database. So now I will take this data and I will paste it. I told you now, if you have the command, it will be easy for you directly to data and it will be automatically taken. Then open the connection in addition. Okay, fine. If you are getting this kind of warning, this warning is nothing but I have given a command where CSV file I have kept here. Command CSV file I have kept here. But from my database I have taken Excel file. Can you know what? When you are taking Excel file and you are giving command CSV file, automatically it will be giving you a warning. Okay, so what you have to do? You have to change the path here. I have to do XLS. How to change your path? You have to go to your CAD data where you have saved your database and you have to check the file. Like what kind of file it is. It is an Excel file or it is a CSV file. Correct? Then it is going to help you to identify the entire system. Which file I have saved? It is CSV file. Which file I have saved? Excel or CSV? Excel. So that means you have to change there in the command instead of CSV you have to change Excel. Okay? application by any freelance. Neither our institute is going to support over we know and etc.
faces these three issues?
Again, a simple thing like nowadays we are not trying to address a single issue. I told you running prices went down. That is not the only reason that is something happening in international market because of that after that. There are again another multiple variables having impact on that particular aspect. Okay? So what happens, how you are correlating with this particular event with that incident, that to identify or to address that question, you need to run the data analysis instead of correlation and relation.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. So I'm looking at the research topic and the objective set. I want to use factor analysis to solve one of my objectives, and then do a moderating mediating analysis to also solve one. Which all include regression analysis, regression equation. Now, because I'm doing factor analysis, mediating moderation analysis, can I combine the two into a final multiple regression to form a model? Is it acceptable?
It is acceptable, but my question to you first is, how could you find out factor analysis will be useful for you?
Because now I've looked at my variables and conducting the p-value. I've cut off those other variables that so I've simplified my equation. I'm only interested in conceptual because I'm using different methods in solving the objective. If I combine the two, then that implies that I'll be doing a new model.
Both factors applying in single objective or single
Yes, or a single objective.
may not be a unique one, but the variables which you have used, the variables which you are using to address that research question may be a unique one. Please don't take it like if I am using both negative and age party factor. You see? You
So
can
that is it's weight.
yes, you can check.
Weight.
Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. It was loaded with a lot of data, analysis, information. My only challenge has to do with our inability to delve into the use of R in analyzing the data practically. But as you see, we will reach out to you. But before we do, when they need advices, basically what we use the out to do in terms of the data imputation and example, but how do we use it to do exactly? In terms of the output, how do we use it to do? What does it do? To help us as researchers.
Let us give an example. What's your research area?
Leadership.
Leadership.
Yes. Leadership in practice.
Let me take the same example. Leadership means you are going to change. How many? I'm just adding another company, IT sector. What is their leadership style? Right? How you are going to collect the data? You are going to interview the manager of IT companies. Am I clear? So when you are interviewing the company leaders or managers, you are getting different varieties of information which is based on some pages. Correct? So after collecting these pages of questionnaire from them, you have to convert into some code. Through R, just write this particular one particular code. I have kept there code. It will convert your these pages into 1, 2, 3, 4 files. So once the content of pages converted to any numbers, now it is a quantity based database you have. Now you can check how many leaders are comes under which category of leadership style. Right? So this information you can also access through SPSS. You can also take some other software to take the data. The free software works in the same direction. But only challenge is how far you are receiving the authenticated version of the software. Right? So in that case, not only coding will transform. Then I have to see how many are comes under 4 category or code. Whatever you have kept for coding. How I have kept that data also I will show you. And how I have coded the data I will show you. So among this leadership quality, you have some parameters, some items you have to get. That item is a single or it is again having some multi items that you have to construct, you have to create. That is very easy to develop or to construct. Either with that or you can take the example that SPSS is easy. But why actually it is user friendly to like I told you that here I can the CSV file and it is giving me a warning. This is not accepted. Why? Because the data which I imported from my file from here it came in the Excel file. I will immediately change. It is not asking me again from the static. Like MATLAB if you are using, we committed a small mistake, you have to start from the beginning. Right? It will be difficult for me. Again I have to learn how to get code. Here, what I do, I will change the path. Over. So that is the way how you can transfer the code. I can just show you just for the understanding one thing. I have also developed some coding codes. The data set which I have shared with you, I have already prepared a coding for. See, these are my code books. And for a researcher, it is also very important to prepare your code book because you should know what exactly code you have given for what. See, my financial literacy indicator is where I have used 1 to 5 Richter scale. This is F1, F2, F3, F1, F5. And
and the convener of the FDP program, Commissioner Pramani Pesa, to please honor our resource person, Dr. Manju I request Dr. Manju to please accept the honor